Hey, babe, ever feel like you're doing way too much in your relationships, especially compared to the amount of effort that you put into everything else that you have going on? Let's get serious. You can crush a presentation. You can manage a team, hey, multiple teams, and hit every deadline, every deliverable. You got it going on, okay? But in your romantic relationships, if you're left kind of feeling like you're in a never-ending performance review, like you can't quite get it right, if you've ever caught yourself thinking, love can't be this hard, I shouldn't have to jump through all of these hoops, this can't be what the girlies are clamoring for, okay? If you're feeling like that, then this episode today is absolutely for you. Honey, you are not desperate. You are not incapable of finding love that fulfills you, that sustains you, that is reciprocal. Okay? You are smart. You are successful. You is kind. You is important. Okay? You are a high achieving, hyper independent, highly capable woman in the habit of performing for love. If any of this sounds like I might be talking to you, it's because I am. Turn up the volume, sweetie, because today I am giving you the 8 crystal clear signs that you've been outsourcing your love to performance. Let's go. Hi, I'm Dr. Tiff, your relationship transformation coach. I've spent the past 20 years working with high-achieving women just like you who are crushing it in every area of their lives, everywhere except their relationships. And look, I get it. Finding the one ain't easy, and relationships are hard. But you know what's even harder? Cycling through the bad ones, or worse, staying in relationships when you already know they're not a good fit. You want a relationship of ease, uncomplicated, someone to love you down, but instead you've been suffering through bad dates, sexual incompatibility, and someone who might be good for somebody, but not for you. And if we're really being honest, you know that deep down, the work that really needs to be done starts and ends with you. If you're done wasting time in dead-end relationships and sick of looking for, chasing after, or trying to convince somebody to be the one, and you're ready to become the one, then baby, you're in the right place. So prop your feet and let's clink glasses, because I'm giving you the tea and the tips to fix your relationships. Let's go. Hey there, I'm Dr. Tiff, and I'm the host of Fix Your Relationships podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. You guys know that we're gearing up for our live event, More Love, Less Hustle, where we're going to stop treating love like a job, honey. No more hustling for love around here, especially, and this is such a perfect lead-in going into Galentine's and Valentine's month. We're going to stop treating love like a job, like we're working hard for the love. More Love, Less Hustle is my 1-hour event. Right now, we have a few dates open, January 23rd and 30th. Both of those days, you'll be able to log in at noon, and I'm going to help you unpack the patterns that keep you hustling for love. We're going to explore why you default to fixing, proving, overfunctioning, overperforming in your relationships. And I'm going to guide you through the simple inner work that you need in order to call in that love that you know you deserve. You can sign up for More Love, Less Hustle by tapping the link in the show notes or by going to becometheone.myflowdesk.com/more love, less hustle. So today, I hope I didn't step on any toes. That intro, honey, a lot of us are working way too hard for the love that we deserve. It should not be that hard, sweetie. It should not be that difficult. And no, that's not what the girls are clamoring for. All right. But one of the terms that I used in that intro was outsourcing love to performance. And I have to admit, that is a bit of a thinker. Okay. What do we mean by outsourcing love to performance? The outsourcing love to performance means that we are trying to earn love, commitment, or basic respect by doing more. That's all that it means. So when we outsource something, think about it. When we outsource something, we're not doing it anymore, okay? Ultimately, it's going to get done, but we're not doing it. We're outsourcing love. And instead of love, we're performing. We're doing a lot of tasks, a lot of busy work, okay? Hoping that they will recognize and value it as love, okay? And what we want to be able to do, ultimately, what we all want and need, right, is we want to be able to love someone, to show them love, of course, in the way in which they feel loved, but we also want to receive it as well, right? All right. So when we're outsourcing love to performance, it means that we're trying to earn love, earn commitment, earn respect, but we're doing so by doing, not by being, believing that if I just do this right, they'll finally see my worth, finally see my value, and they'll love me the way that I want. Okay. Let's make this plain. I want to give you a different analogy. At work, right? At your job or whatever type of industry you're in, we go to work, we do a good job. If we do more than what's expected, if we overperform or overfunction, the hope is we will get recognized for our efforts, correct? We will be rewarded maybe by a pay bump, maybe by a promotion, maybe even by an acknowledgement or a reward of some kind, right? How long on your job will you overperform before you decide you're going to move on? It's only in love where we overfunction, underreceive, and stay put because of what we've invested, because we really love this person, because we're so attached and have so many feelings for the person that we're partnered with. You're overperforming in your relationships without ever getting a promotion, whether that means marriage, whether that means love, whether that means commitment, whatever that is for you. We have to stop outsourcing love to performance. In order to do that, you have to know if that's what you're doing, right? So today's podcast, I want to give you some clear signs that you might be outsourcing love to performance right now. I want you to see where these things land, and I'm going to give you some simple tips at the end of this to make some changes, to go ahead and start afresh, anew, okay? All right, so the number one sign, and these are not in any particular order. You know how I do my list, honey. Number one on my list for signs that you might be outsourcing love to performance right now. Number one, you keep trying to prove your value. I kind of just hinted towards this. You keep trying to prove your value. This looks like overgiving, over accommodating, over explaining. This underlying feeling that if they pull away, your mind automatically goes to, what did I do wrong? How can I fix it? I must be to blame. I've got to prove that I am worth them hanging around. Okay? That's sign number one. You keep trying to prove yourself and that you're worth staying for. Okay? The number two sign that you might be outsourcing love to performance, you tolerate crumbs strictly because you have invested so much. You tolerate things that are less than what you deserve because you've poured so much into the relationship. You've already put in so much time, so much energy, and so much emotion. You don't feel great about walking away. Sometimes you're scared to walk away. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's just that I've done so much. I got to see this thing through. It's bound to work out at some point. But again, let's compare this to, you know what? I've used this analogy before, but a car. Okay. I might have bought a car that was brand new, right? And it was perfect at first. Okay. Now this is going to really hit on for some of y'all. I bought a car, brand new, perfect. I started having a few issues with the car, but we take it, we get it fixed. It runs fine for a while. Every once in a while, it needs a service, it needs a tune-up. But all in all, it's a great car. But when it starts acting a little funny after a few years, right? And I'm taking it in for service more and more. I'm spending so much. I'm investing so much more back into the car. Now it needs to be serviced every month or every other month. Instead of just paying my car payment, now I'm paying my car payment plus I'm fixing this car. I'm spending $2,000 every other month on this car. At some point, it's no longer worth everything I've been pouring into it. Likewise, let's just say it's not even a new car, but it's an older car that you have. Just because you have put so much time and energy and money into this car does not mean you should continue to do so. Sometimes we are outsourcing our love to performance and holding on to relationships for extended periods of time just because of what we've already invested in it. And what's really crazy is some of us are waiting for the car to conk out before we decide to walk away from it, when really it would be less taxing, less expensive, a lot less energy if we made the decision to say, you know what? I've done enough. I'm not doing anymore. I'm walking away from this car. Okay. The same thing could be and should be happening in some of our relationships. Instead, we're staying a lot longer because of what we've invested rather than taking an honest look at what's going on and saying, you know what? I might be better off if I walk away. All right. Number three, The third way that you may be outsourcing love to performance is you make excuses for inconsistent behavior. You tell yourself that, you know what, they're busy. They're stressed out at work. They got a lot going on. They're not really that good at texting or returning phone calls. You're saying all of these things. You're giving these excuses for people, but secretly, you're feeling anxious. You're feeling unchosen. You're feeling neglected. Sis, we got to be honest with how we're really feeling about things and how things really make us feel. Okay? We cannot make excuses for inconsistent behavior, for someone not showing up for us in the way that we need to be shown up for. This is not about being needy. It's not about being picky. It's about having a really clear understanding of what you need in a relationship and also what you deserve in a relationship. Some people don't need to be called back every time. Quite frankly, I hate talking on the phone. So I may be the person that doesn't need that, right? But if I'm partnered with someone who does, it's my job as their partner to understand that that is their need. And likewise, it is your partner's job to understand that that is your need. But the only way that they understand that is for you to articulate that. And once you articulate that, they know that. And if they choose to not do that, that is very telling for you as well. Okay? All right. That's number 3. All right. Sign number 4, that you might be outsourcing love to performance. You feel like you are always auditioning. You feel like you're always auditioning. You're constantly thinking, did I say the right thing? Did I do too much? Am I too much? You also will find yourself shape shifting, trying to be who they want you to be, rather than allowing them to absorb and deal with who you are. You're shape shifting. You're trying to be whoever you think they want you to be, rather than just being. Okay. Being is hard. And one day I will do a podcast episode about this pretty soon. Probably won't be until March, but being is hard sometimes, especially if you have a history of the shape shifting. If you're really trying to morph yourself to be the person that someone else wants. Okay. Not that they want you to be, but the person that someone else wants. We have to get to a place, and this is so off topic, but I feel like I got to say it. We have to get to a place where we're okay with who we are. And we're also okay not being with someone who can't appreciate or doesn't get who we are. Okay. There's a lid for every pot. Okay. And if that one don't fit, honey, I promise you there's another one in the cupboard. Okay. That absolutely fits. So we can't be stuck on that. So sign number 4, you feel like you're always auditioning and constantly feeling like you're not doing the right thing, constantly asking yourself, am I doing too much? Am I too much? You're shape shifting. Okay. No, ma'am. That is a sign that you might be outsourcing love to performance. Hey babes, taking a quick break to talk to you about the One Within 30-Day Reset, my one-of-a-kind guided journaling experience. If you are someone who is determined to improve your relationships in 2026, but also want to make sure that you don't neglect yourself in the process, I'd love to see you inside this program. I designed the One Within 30-Day Reset for women just like you, strong, hyper-independent, crushing it at work, living your dreams. But if we're really being honest, things are a little lacking in the love department. You know that there's probably some self-work that you need to do. Maybe you've been putting it off because you're not quite sure where to start. Well, that's where the One Within steps in. If you can spare just 5 to 10 minutes a day, I'll help you identify the patterns and triggers holding you back in your relationships, help you to set better boundaries and end the cycles of self-sabotage and missed red flags. I'll help you embrace the personal growth strategies necessary to stop making the same mistakes over and over again and to start calling in that love we both know you deserve. And remember, this is a guided experience. I'm not just handing out blank sheets of paper and telling you to scribble your hopes and dreams. Each day, I'm providing you with thought-provoking prompts designed to really tap into what's kept you feeling stuck in your relationships. In addition, you're going to get daily video messages from me, get full access to our private community, group coaching calls, bonuses, and so much more. If you're ready to sign up or just need more information, head on over to drtiffanyhenry.com/theonewithin. Now back to the show. All right. Sign number 5, you feel emotionally exhausted. Let me tell you something. Love feels like work it feels like you are really hustling, you're doing too much. One of the reasons why we outsource things, think about it from a work perspective, is because it's too much for one person to do. Okay? It's too much to be burdened with, to be bogged down with. One person can't handle it all. When we are outsourcing love to performance, when you are feeling emotionally exhausted because of the way in which you love or have to love or feel like you have to love this person, it's not love at all, sweetie. It's performance, or at best, performative love. It's not the good kind of effort. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't put in effort into your relationship, but when it's real love and it's what it's supposed to be, that effort will be rewarded. You will have an internal reward. You will feel really great about, oh my gosh, I can't wait to do this, surprise him in this way, or cook him this, or take him this, or do this for him because it's coming back to me. He fulfills me, and maybe not even in the same way, but in a different way, but in the way that I need to be loved, honey. It doesn't feel like work. I'm not depleted by it. But if you're looking at your relationship and you're feeling emotionally exhausted, that could be a sign that you're outsourcing love to performance. If it feels like a never-ending performance review, that you're scared you're going to fail, you're tired, but you've invested so much that you feel guilty about walking away. If you're feeling emotionally exhausted, if you're not getting out of it what you've been putting in, sign you could be outsourcing love to performance. Sign number 6, you're constantly managing the relationship. Now, as we go into this one, right, there are people that I work with. There are people that I counsel. There are people in my life who just have a takeover spirit. Okay. It is their gift. God has gifted them with the spirit of management. Okay. They are meant to manage people. This is not what I'm talking about. Okay. When you are the one who always has to initiate the hard task, if you're always the one who has to plan, that has to fix, that has to smooth things over, if you are in your relationship and you're feeling like the project manager of your connection, that is a sign that you may be outsourcing love to performance. If a date night won't happen if you don't plan it, okay? If y'all don't have sex unless you initiate it, if they won't kiss you unless you first initiate the kiss, if y'all can't talk about the issues in your relationship without you having to be the one to bring it up, if an argument will never end unless you apologize first, you're working way too hard. You're outsourcing love to performance. You're doing the most in this relationship. Okay? We got to stop that pattern. All right. Number 7, you ignore your body's nose. This is a big one for us. Okay. As women in general, but certainly those that are driven, that are high performing, high achieving, your body feels anxious. It feels tight. It feels off. But instead of listening to it, if you're in a relationship with someone and you notice that every time you have to interact with them, your neck clenches up, your shoulders clench up, your fists ball up, you start sweating, you feel tight, you feel nervous, you feel uneasy, you don't look forward to conversations, you feel on edge, you're guarded. If this is happening all the time and you're starting to experience those things in your body, you got to listen to that. When we're outsourcing love to performance, we don't listen to our body. We start talking ourselves into staying in environments where we're not comfortable. We start working harder to prove that we love them and to be loved, rather than accepting that this person isn't capable of loving me or doesn't have the capacity to love me in the way that I need to be loved, and let me pull back because I am killing myself from the inside out trying to force love on this person in order to get love that they will never be able to give me back. Understand? All right. Number 8, the 8th way in which we outsource love to performance. This is the last one. You downplay your needs in order to keep the peace. Okay. There are so many folks, young and old, okay, experienced and not, who pride themselves on being low maintenance. Oh, I don't care if he hangs out with his friends, or, being in a relationship with someone who is that into sports doesn't really bother me. I like being alone. Sure. Okay. Some people do. But if you're priding yourself on being low maintenance and you really do want closeness. You really do want attention sometimes. You really want to be thought about first before they think about their own needs. Sweetie, you're not low maintenance. You're not. What we're doing is we're anticipating someone else's needs and we're allowing them to devalue and not consider our own. We overfunction, we fix, we anticipate their needs while our own needs, and it's not that they go unmet, they go unspoken. We don't even articulate what we want and need because we're trying to accommodate someone else and make them feel at ease, make them feel, and that's our way of making them feel loved. Okay. That's how we're outsourcing it. We're making them feel loved by just saying, hey, I'm not needy. I don't need much, honey. I'm low maintenance. When really, who are we kidding? You need to be maintained. My girls, the ladies I know, okay, we need to be maintained, honey. I don't need you to, and I really don't need you to nitpick and do all the little things, but it doesn't mean that I don't like it. It doesn't mean that I don't appreciate it. It doesn't mean that I won't be telling my girlfriends about the lovely thing that you just did for me. So go ahead, shower me, okay? Even if I don't need it, do it, okay? We can't leave our needs unspoken, especially while we're meeting the needs of others. We have to advocate for ourselves and we have to acknowledge that we have needs too. When you're not acknowledging your own needs, when you're downplaying your own needs to keep the peace or to keep someone close, you're outsourcing love to performance. What we're really doing is we're hoping that they notice all of the effort and they reward that effort with some sort of commitment or love or gifts, or they show you love in some sort of way, right? And what we're really scared of, what we're terrified about, is that if we ask for more, it's going to push them away. If we speak our needs, those needs that stay unspoken, right? When we speak them, that they'll reject us, that they'll pull away, they'll leave, or they'll no longer see us as low maintenance. Now I got to work for it. Now you used to not like it when I did it. You didn't care, but now you care. You got all these things to say about it. No, on the one hand, they're right because we didn't articulate our needs, but that stops today. That stops today. All right. So those are your 8 ways in which you may be outsourcing love to performance. I want to go over those again real quick. Number 1 was you keep trying to prove your value. Okay. Number 2, you tolerate crumbs because you are invested. Number 3, you make excuses for inconsistent behavior. Number 4, you feel like you're always auditioning. 5, you feel emotionally exhausted. Number 6, you constantly are managing the relationship. Number 7, you ignore your body's nose. And number 8, you're downplaying your needs in order to keep the peace. All right. If you recognize yourself in any of these scenarios, if any of these signs feel like, I might be outsourcing love to performance, your issue isn't that you love them too much. It isn't that you care too much. It's likely that you've been taught, either by modeling, messaging, or experience, to work for love rather than to receive it. That working for love is what you are supposed to do in a relationship. And that's either been modeled for you. You've either been taught that through messaging or culturally, or in experience, in your dating experience, that's what's been reaffirmed for you. Okay. One of the things that I talk about in my programs, in the One Within 30-Day Reset, I'll even share this with you when you guys come to More Love, Less Hustle, is my one framework. It's all over the work that I do. One is an acronym, ONE. The O stands for owning your patterns. N is for nurturing your emotional and mental health. And then E is this evolution that we bring you through and how you show up in love going forward. We just did a lot of the O, which was kind of naming the signs, giving you an awareness of what's going on within and throughout your relationship so you can understand what outsourcing love to performance actually means. Now, I want to give you a tiny taste of what the work that we're going to do in More Love, Less Hustle, but also in the One Within 30-Day Reset. We do this daily in the One Within 30-Day Reset, a tiny taste of the nurture and the evolve. Okay. So if you are somewhere where you can write things down, I want you to stop right now, grab a pen, get some paper, your journal, whatever, something that you can write on so you can do this exercise with us. If you are driving right now, please don't get a pen and paper. Pull over or wait until you're stopped and come back to this part of the episode. All right. Prompt number 1, and this, again, this is something that we do daily in the 1 Within 30-Day Reset. If you're interested in that, I'll give you information about that at the end. But question number 1, this is a journal prompt that I want you to think about and write. Okay. I want you to write the answer to this. Number 1, where am I working harder for love than I do at my job? Where or how am I working harder in my relationships, in love, than I am 40 plus hours a week on my job? How am I working harder in my relationship? In what ways am I working harder in love than I am in my job? I want you to write that down for me, because many of you will find that the stress doesn't come on the job. Job feels like an escape. Job feels like, energy and creativity and inspiration and motivation. And then you come home or hang out with your partner and you feel drained, you feel depleted, you don't feel inspired at all. Where are you working harder, and how are you working harder, and in what way are you working harder for love than you do in your career? All right, pause this now. Go ahead and take a few seconds and write this down. All right, number 2, this is a good one. What am I afraid will happen if I stop overperforming and overfunctioning in this relationship? What am I afraid will happen if I stop overfunctioning in relationships? Are you scared that the person will leave? Are you scared that they'll see you, as who you really are? Are you afraid that you won't be enough for them? Are you afraid that they'll cheat? Are you afraid that it's not enough, that you need to do more, or they'll leave? Are you afraid that if you don't manage everything, that the relationship won't be the relationship that you need or deserve? You feel like you need to do that. You feel like you need to have your hands in everything in order for it to be exactly what you want and need. What are you afraid of will happen? What are you afraid will happen if you stop overperforming, overfunctioning, overfixing in your relationships? Last question here. There's a big one. All right. If I believe I am worthy of love without the hustle, if I believed I was worthy of love without hustling, what is one thing I would do less of this week? Another way of saying this might be, if I believe I'm worthy of love, what will I stop doing? If I believe I'm worthy of love in this relationship, I will stop doing what? And answer that. If any of this is hitting home for you and you're realizing, wow, I've been outsourcing love to performance for quite some time, then my live event, More Love, Less Hustle, is absolutely made for you. It is a short 1-hour power session for women just like you who are tired of working so hard for love, harder for love than they do anywhere else in their lives. We'll go really, really deep into your patterns. You'll get more answers than you did today. I just gave you the signs today, but we're actually going to dig deeper into the patterns and where and why they're present in your life. And we're also going to build, each of you is going to build your own personal stop-start strategy with me. It's a strategy that I give to my clients that help them to evolve they get the E here, right? We evolve out of this pattern. I'm going to ask you questions just like I did today, just now, that we'll write out, and we'll get to your stop-start strategy before the end of the hour. So if you'd like to attend, I would love to have you. You can grab your spot at becometheone.myflowdesk.com/more love less hustle. That's becometheone.myflowdesk.com/more love less hustle, or just hit the link in the show notes. I know that's a lot. Okay. That's a lot to remember. Go to the show notes, tap the link, and you can get right in where you fit in. Our next live event is January 23rd. 2026. And there's another one coming up the following Friday, January 30th. Both of those sessions are at noon. We also will have more dates opening up in February, but those are the 2 that are there right now. And I promise you, you want to get in sooner rather than later, because I don't have a solid day and time for the next one. So if those fit your calendar and your schedule, go ahead and get in where you fit in. Seats are limited, so you do need to register for this event. Go to becometheone.myflowdesk.com/more love less hustle to reserve your seats. Seats are limited because I want it to feel intimate and interactive. I want folks to feel really good about sharing in this space. And in order to do that, we're keeping the numbers relatively low. Now, if you're listening to this and More Love, Less Hustle is no longer available. And especially if you really loved the prompts that I gave you towards the end of this episode, go ahead and check out the One Within 30-Day Reset. That's my one-of-a-kind journaling experience where we walk through this inner work day by day. You can visit drtiffanyhenry.com/the1within to get more information on that. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, for listening to me carry on about these signs of outsourcing love to performance. I hope you learned a little bit. I hope it makes sense for you. And I hope to see you in More Love, Less Hustle if you want to continue this work further, because we're going to nail it down. We have a little bit of time. We'll have an hour, a power hour where we can pummel through this. We can get to the bottom of it and you can get to the evolution of what you're trying to do in your relationships by the end of that hour. And it's free. It's a completely free event. So you have no excuse. Go ahead and join me for More Love, Less Hustle. Go down to the show notes and click the link, or go to becometheone.myflowdesk.com/more love, less hustle. And I will see you there. All right. This has been Fist Your Relationships Podcast. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Ciao. Hey, babe, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. My goal with this podcast is to bless you with information that helps you fix those relationships that are most important to you, but not before you do the self-work needed to make sure that those relationships thrive. If this episode was exactly what you needed, then guess what? Somebody else probably needs it too. So do me and them a favor. Please share this episode with your good girlfriend and let her know about the podcast. And while you're at it, hop on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a review. This really helps to grow the podcast and puts it right in front of other women who are desperate to work on their relationships and themselves. And if you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to join our community of like-minded women all on a journey to become the one. You can sign up for free at becometheone.myflowdesk.com/email. I know that's a lot, so just go on over to the show notes and click that link there. Thanks again for listening to Fix Your Relationships with Dr. Tiff. I'll see you right back here next week.